I'm Dr. Neil Payne.
And I'm Kirk Lyons.
And this is All Things Confederate. Kirk, what's been going on lately?
Well, I guess we can start working backward. This past weekend, I attended the Two Dogs Festival, which was a meeting of the Sons of Confederate Veterans and Mechanized Cavalry. And since you and Nathaniel got me cooked into this Southern Highland Brigade commander's job, I had to attend as in my position as brigade commander. And it's a very interesting event. They've held it for the last 13 years, and I have to say that not being part of this subculture of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, I was pretty impressed with it. They were very nice people. There was about probably 200 people there. It was well attended. And they had, I ran into mechanized cavalry guys from Texas, Louisiana, and they're all very dedicated SCV members. And as I found out, to be a member of the mechanized cavalry, you have to be an active member of your camp in the SCV. They insist on that, and they live it. Had an excellent dinner there. They had a pig picking, and it was so good even Brenna wanted to stay to eat. And that was fun.
The commander-in-chief was there, too.
The chicken and cheese himself was there. He is a member of the mechanized cavalry, and he was part of the delegation that went to go get the marker, which was one of the highlights of the event. There was a recent news item about a month ago of a Ohio antique dealer who was trying to sell a Veterans Administration Confederate marker for a Confederate soldier, Elijah Holtzclaw, Company D, 31st North Carolina Infantry Regiment. He was buried in Avery County. He was born in 1846, and he died in 1929. And somebody went and purloined his headstone, cleaned it up, and were trying to sell it.
It's amazing. What would be the market for that? I can't imagine somebody wants to buy somebody else's gravestone.
He tried to sell it. When it was found, the commander of Ohio Division, a man named John Anson, very fine man, said, "You need to give me this headstone." He said, "Sure, I'll be happy to sell it to you." "No, you need to give me this headstone so we can go put it back. Now, you either give it to me or I'm going to call a policeman who's going to come and take it from you, and you may get to go to the pokey." And the guy saw reason and gave it to the Ohio Division.
So they frown on grave robbery in Ohio.
Apparently so. That's to their credit. The Ohio Division took control of this, and then the Ohio Division commander happens to be a member of the mechanized cavalry. So this was kind of a mechanized cavalry deal from start to finish. They contacted the mechanized cavalry in North Carolina, a man by the name of Colonel Kevin Stone, very fine gentleman, commands the mechanized cavalry. And they pretty well worked. I then got contacted by Tom Smith, the division commander, since it's in my brigade, to let's see about coordinating getting
He's
this.
Also in the mechanized cavalry, isn't he?
Tom Smith? He may be.
Maybe I'm thinking Bruce.
Maybe. I don't know if Tom is or not. He probably will be before it's all over with. So we found the Burnsville camp very routinely resets gravestones, and they're very accomplished with this. And so they took charge of actually taking control of the headstone, and we'll see by getting it recited. The Ohio Mechanized Cavalry came down with an honor guard with a 300-pound headstone and delivered it to the camp commander and myself. So we now have the headstone. The Burnsville camp has it, and they'll make arrangements to have it replaced in the Avery County Cemetery where it was, and then we'll have a rededication ceremony. So that was a nice event, and we'll probably have a picture posted here in this that Nathaniel will find and show you what the headstone looked like. But it was a good ceremony, and Kelly Henson, who plays Mrs. Stonewall Jackson, was there to give a presentation. She did an outstanding job. So it was a good day. Beautiful weather in Maggie Valley. I gave a talk on Lieutenant Colonel John Love of the Thomas's Legion. I actually have a photograph of him that I found in a local antique shop. And the last shots of the war in North Carolina were on May 10th, Confederate Memorial Day, 1865. Thomas's Legions surrendered and laid down their arms in Waynesville, North Carolina. So that was kind of the end of the war for us here in North Carolina. Also just got back from Texas, from the Sam Davis camp. It was an excellent camp. It had 22 very fine young people. William, my son William, went with me as a counselor. Tom Willis's oldest daughter, Emily, went as a junior counselor. She did an outstanding job. And Catherine went as a camper. And I was at the Three Mountain Retreat in Clifton. We had a cannon to practice on and fire. The girls fired in the morning, the boys fired in the evening. Horseback riding every day. We had a historical tour of downtown Waco and the old cemetery there where several Confederate generals are buried. Had some excellent talks. Donnie Kennedy came and spoke on 3 different topics, and he's a very good speaker. Kids enjoyed it. We had dancing every night. We're able to go to a planetary observatory just 3 miles from the camp. And so that was a very, very nice event, and I think it'll be even bigger next year. And I encourage anyone out there that have children ages 11 to 18 or young adults 18 to 21, send your kids to the Sam Davis Youth Camp. It's the best week they'll spend on Confederate education, and it trains the leaders for the Confederate community in the future.
This is a really important issue. We can do all the heritage defending that we want, but if there's nobody to take up the banner after we go, then we're really wasting our time. If we're not inculcating the spirit of the South and our own children, who's going to defend it when we pass over? So I really encourage you to get involved with the Sam Davis Youth Camps. The kids have the best time of their lives down there, either in Virginia or in Texas. And it's a very great work that the Sons of Confederate Veterans puts on.
I have to say it's the most important thing that they do.
Yeah.
It really is. It's very, very close, if not the most. I think it is the most important thing that they do. And these kids have an unforgettable experience. We've had the kids' comments after they got back, just they can't wait to go back next year. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a child or they're too old. You know some kid of a good family that would appreciate going to this camp. You need to find them and send them there. It's easy to talk the talk. Everybody wants to support the camp. Always support the youth camp. We're all behind it. But you need to put your money behind it, and you need to send people to it. Find a young man or woman that can go and send them. This is the only way these camps are going to grow, and we need to expand beyond Virginia and Texas. We need to have camps in every division eventually. We need to be graduating thousands of kids every summer, not 100.
Right.
So this is very important.
So Kirk, what else is going on the legal front?
Well, while I was there, I dropped into our good friend Garnet Coleman's office. We did a vigil to Sam Davis, the Honorable Garnet Coleman, to see if he was there. He wasn't. I did talk to his legal director about the status of the debate that he threw down the gauntlet for, and apparently he's not quite ready to pick it up.
No.
He threw it down, but not willing to pick it up. So, but we did visit with him about that. The Sam Davis youth campers that could came and did a vigil in front of the Supreme Court building the Saturday after the camp ended. We had a nice time flagging the Texas flaggers, if you will, on the Supreme Court Plaza. The Texas division has set up a plaquevigil.com where you can sign up to go spend a Saturday afternoon from 11 to 1 in front of the Supreme Court Plaza. And we need to do that. We've got to revive the vigil, put it back on the burner, and get people out there to make the state of Texas know we're never going to go away. Plaquevigil.com, go get your camp and sign up. If you're in a Texas camp, there's not a good excuse for you not to do it.
Right.
If you're in Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, you're close enough, you can make an afternoon trip to Austin. It's a very nice place to spend an afternoon. Go do it, and if you're available, can do it during the weekday, even better, when all the world of bureaucracy is walking the Capitol Plaza at lunchtime. But we need to keep that going. We're still negotiating for the legal fees and for ending the lawsuit and pulling down the illegal plaques that were put up after our plaques were taken down. We continue to get incredible information on the historical marker that was denied. Senator Rodney Ellis said in his private emails that we were able to get through the Freedom of Information Act, or what Texas calls that, He considered this the Trayvon Martin issue, and kept referring to it as the Trayvon Martin issue. That this Confederate pension historical marker plaque never happened. That this was just hauling them back into slavery. So we continue to get information on that. We're still quibbling with them on documents that they don't want to release, and we're going to make their life miserable by asking for them. We'll play that bureaucratic hassle for them out to the end. The Hardwick case, the Forces of Darkness at Lattice Schools filed their appeal brief in July. We have the right to file a reply brief. And we have not been too impressed with our opponent's legal briefing. It's pro forma. They've got this comfortable feeling that they're probably going to sail through into the courts. We're going to let them say whatever they want to say, and they're probably presuming that they're going to get the ruling. We, as David is to their Goliath, have to take a more aggressive stance, and so our reply brief will be short and hard-hitting. And we'll be receiving the final draft that I'll be making changes to, and we'll file the reply brief probably this Friday. And, of course, today is the 29th of August. And so we'll file the reply brief on Friday. At that time, the court can then decide whether they will have oral arguments. We have contacted the Virginia counsel, our good friend Fred D. Taylor, who did a lot of the original briefing on the Hardwick case in the early days. And we've asked him to present our case in oral arguments. And so this will be his first time before the Fourth Circuit. So kind of I thought that's kind of usually young attorneys over-prepare. He'll sit there and spend 3 times the hours that I would getting ready for this, because it'll be his very first presentation before the Fourth Circuit.
In the offices of Jefferson.
In the offices of the Honorable Jefferson Davis, President of the Confederates, in the Confederate Treasury Building. So we've got the March Across Dixie coming up. We've got the award ceremony. We're going to present our highest heritage award to Colonel Father Alistair Anderson, a dear friend of the SLRC, a Lifetime Achievement Award. Susan Hathaway, the Virginia Flagger, is getting an award. Jamie Funkhauser is getting an award. We have a journalist award to give. We have, and this will be the place to be in October. Plus, HK is going back out on the road. He's going to remarch the March Across Dixie, so he's supported for that. So there really is no better time to join the SLRC. If you have not joined, join today. Your camp or chapter can join for $200. An individual membership is $35. Of course, if you've got shekels lying around the house that aren't doing anything, send them here. I mean, just because you're a member doesn't mean that you're relieved of the responsibility of keeping the ship of state sailing. So we need to continue to ask you to send donations when you can. We ask for lots of people to send so that all the big shots who don't send don't have to. But if 100,000 of our closest personal friends will send us a small donation, we'll do very well. And that's what we want, lots of people. So we want to be a mass movement. We want to have lots of members so that we have to hire Shea Stadium to hold our membership meetings.
Thanks a lot, Kirk.
Thank you, Neil.
Show, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you all for joining us at All Things Confederate.